The following podcast is scheduled for one fall with no time limit.
Super hot fire!
The greatest spectacle in podcast entertainment, Mr. Nestlemania.
That was literally verbal diarrhea. I'm setting the bar awfully low. Titus O'Neil keeps running directly into that bar. Get him off my TV, get him off my TV. You make me very angry.
The man who has a better IQ than you, the awe-inspiring JC.
You should go work for WWE because you'd be so up far up Vince's butt.
No.
Oh, you are such a sucker.
You
You
are.
defend everything, all the bad moves they make.
This is the Jobber Knocker Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker Podcast. As always, it's Nestlemania. Alongside for the ride is... Ladies and gentlemen, he's back.
Ah, boy, does it feel good. Fresh off the boat, I'm back, baby. Much like Eric Bischoff, who returned right after we finished recording 2 weeks ago, I'm back as well, and I'm ready to go. Rip Rarin, I watched Zero Wrestling last week. Only listened to you and Joe on the pod, which you guys did a great job filling me in. But I had to rely on the 6,000 recaps of Raw to show me what I missed last week.
A recap that made sense for you.
Yeah, but here's what we're going to do. You know how for a while we've kind of been talking about how Raw's been way better?
Yeah.
Not this week. Raw sucked, I thought, overall. But SmackDown, don't call it a comeback in the shine, but it's here. That was the best SmackDown in months.
I gotta say, they started off the show awfully hot. I didn't.
Oh, baby.
So here's the thing. I don't necessarily care so much about Dolph Ziggler, but having him, and I mean KO, watching him in the car, honking the horn, getting all upset, saying his spew, and then like the brawl, I was like, this is great. I'm in. I'm totally in. I'm curious what your thoughts are on it.
I fucking loved it. I
Yeah.
thought this was superb. This is when there were like the rumors of Owens coming back, being a babyface. I was like, this is what we want. Keep that Kevin Owens badass bravado, confidence, cockiness. Like, keep that character, but make him a babyface. He's that type of guy. It's like what Becky was. Like, KO has always been that type of character too. And that, like, we all cheer for him anyways. So why not make him? And you know what? He went right. And everything about this was great. I loved the start to it. It was a different way to start SmackDown as opposed to just Shane McMahon standing in the back being like, I'm Shane McMahon, suck my dick. Instead, we got that, like you said, we're like with Ziggler. I thought this was the best Ziggler's looked in years.
Yeah. It was weird.
Because he made him look legitimate. They fought outside. They threw out KO. Obviously, they did the thing with the first segment. He comes out in the promo out of the crowd. Just everything they did with all this stuff all night was perfect.
And then, of course, they go to the next part, which I didn't think was going to happen. I thought it would be like, oh, he'll show up later on in the night because that's kind of like what we'd expect. But right out of the gate, there comes KO, and he spouts super hot fire right out of his mouth, saying stuff that obviously the fans are thinking. Obviously, it's great.
Oh, baby.
Shane comes out, does his whole spiel about cut his mic. Clearly, they're playing to the crowd, so they got
It
to
was
let
a
him
nice
talk.
effect, though. I like it. It was a nice effect to add to it because the best part of it, he just grabbed something else. He's grabbing the headset and he's name dropping literally all our favorites that don't get TV time. Like, you want to talk about making guy the number one babyface on the show, pretty much? Yeah, that was that.
So it was odd to me because, like, almost in the first segment, Shane wasn't like his normal assholey self. It was more of like, I run the show. And then literally the minute KO goes out there, it was like, so he's been the best in the world asshole for like ever.
Yep.
And then this outside segment, I was like, it's a little bit of character assassination in a little bit, but they got it back almost like instantaneously. And I thought to myself, man, as much as I hate Shane McMahon, I was watching this segment going, yep.
This
There's
is how
nothing wrong
you
with
use
it.
it. Well, I will say this, because the week I did the podcast with Ray, that was when it all kind of changed. Because before that, it was bad. Like, so Ray was Ron at that time. If he would have made the argument he made then, like
Now?
today, it's been better. Because
Yeah.
so I remember literally, because I remember watching the next week, it was like, okay, Shane has gone to the background a little bit. Like, he's still there and he still has his segments, which suck, but he isn't dominating the show like he was for so long, literally burying everyone. He's still burying The Miz and McIntyre and Elias, because I don't give a fuck about any of them right now. But this, like, it was an effective way to use him. But my only concern with this do you remember there was kind of a feud with Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon before? Are we rerunning that back?
Probably.
Because that's how Sami Zayn originally turned heel.
Yeah.
Where hashtag JC knew and pulled KO away from the table and saved him. And so I'm a little concerned they're just going to do that, because I'd rather have KO like feuding with other people, but have Shane there to just kind of be like that prawn from above, but those two not actually feud, because enough with the Shane directly feuding with people.
I believe wholeheartedly there's a weird undercurrent, in my opinion, where they're starting to build this super babyface team.
Survivor Series.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, we know Elias the Mac, Dolph now, which they did in the backstage segment, Revival, Shane. Like, there is a conglomerate, if you want to say, or the corporation or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
there is
suck
going
up
to be
guys.
there is going to be some type of layer for everybody to fight through to get to Shane, which I don't mind because it's kind of the same Vince mentality from 20 years ago. It's like
Yeah.
you got to fight all these guys to get to somebody, and I'm okay with it. I just don't know if the payoff at this point, because Shane wrestles so much,
Exactly.
will mean anything.
That's the problem, is he's been so overexposed to
Right.
us now. It's like he's not really that end boss, which they could have made him to be.
Sure.
Maybe he still is for The Miz, I think, because they've done a nice job in terms of, if they would have just been doing The Miz stuff all along, it would have been much better. But like with everything, like with just the convolution of Roman Reigns and everything else has made it just so tough to keep up with. But that's my one worry with it. But in terms of this week, like that was a super shine of the week. It was beautiful. Kevin Owens is such a fucking awesome, badass stud. Love him.
Staying on the blue brand,
Ooh.
I got to say, I was excited for a couple of things, but more importantly, I just got to say, we bury this in the shine sometimes, but I was sitting there going, Daniel fucking Bryan. Daniel Bryan, in 2 minutes, put over the entire tag division while
Yep.
still making fun
All
of them.
three teams.
All three teams. And I was just like, God damn it, folks. Like, it just keeps getting better. Like, I was watching, listen, as much as I didn't care for, Heavy Machinery, like, it's a guilty pleasure, Heavy Machinery, but then, like, okay, The New Day. Like, I'll give The New Day a pass because they're The New Day, but I'm not a huge guy anymore for The New Day. But this triple threat match and the promo beforehand, I was like, wow, I'm actually really enjoying this matchup. It makes logical sense. I can get invested in this story. And Daniel Bryan just went like, I hate that you do this, but you're good at that. Like,
He's like, you guys are like the best tag team, but you have all this bullshit that makes you suck. It's
Yeah.
just, it's perfect. It's how we put over Heavy Machinery originally.
Yeah.
He did it again with like Daniel Bryan is so good at that. Like that was the part I really loved with the promos before. The matches, whatever. I get it. It worked. It was fine. It was a way to showcase Otis a little bit, I
Yeah.
think, mainly, and remind us that Xavier Woods is a fucking really good wrestler. Like every time we see him, it's like, holy shit, why doesn't he wrestle more?
Yeah.
And he looks like a badass when he's throwing around Daniel Bryan like a rag doll. So.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, very quickly, I wanted to we never really give a shout out to Heavy Machinery ever, I don't think, except Ben, because is the Ben boys.
I mean, you do. I gave him a shout a couple weeks ago. I said they were good.
But Otis did a stalling suplex by himself with two dudes. The crowd went freaking bananas for it.
Yep.
Because, again, you don't see that stuff all the time. So I think it was definitely worth watching. And I also want to say that SmackDown emanated from Manchester, and our boy Ray Ray was actually in many shots because he was telling me in the thread.
I thought I saw him, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't.
He
think
had a
he's
new
there.
position. He was texting us earlier saying he had a new position and he wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
But he was there giving us good stuff as well. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of good stuff on this program.
Yeah, like for one, I have to right the wrongs and put it early. Always in the shine, Mandy Rose, where she always belongs.
In catering.
Last week was expunged for the record. Yeah, everyone needs to eat. Wearing a wonderful pink dress with her girl Sonia. I always want to call her Sonia. It's
Sonia.
I know, that's why I spell it with a J by mistake all the time, because when I think
Sonja.
Sonia, it has a J, and Sonia is with a Y, so it really screws with my head. But they confronted Ember in catering, took some oranges, which, props. I love props. We all love props, right?
Yeah.
Everyone loves a prop. I wish they were donuts, but that's on a different platform, which makes
Yeah,
sure you
why
check
didn't
out
she
the
grab a
latest
donut? Why
There
would
were
that
no
have-
donuts there.
Why didn't
And
she
you have to
plug?
watch the Mandy's Donuts to see.
But why wouldn't you be an absolute star and think to yourself, I'm going to grab a donut at catering?
There were no
and
donuts at catering.
You don't know that. You didn't see the
I
entire
saw
thing.
the whole table. They were
No,
panning
you
across
didn't.
it.
First off, did you see Drake Maverick underneath the table, by the way?
No, I missed that.
That
I
was
saw your
awesome.
tweet and I went back
That
and
was
saw it.
great. That
'Cause
was
any excuse to
unbelievable.
rewatch a
I was
Mandy
like,
segment.
I
don't need to watch.
was like, what a scene stealer. Like, it made me go, what a great little nook and cranny. Like, it just didn't even matter.
No way it was good, because I guarantee you 95% of the people did not notice.
Oh, yeah,
because,
they missed it.
They were just
but then again, it's
taken
me
aback.
who's just, like, sitting there, like,
Yeah.
trying to look at every corner, especially as we get into it later, I'm sure. Like, I'm sitting there going, backstage segment, where is it?
Yep.
Where is it?
So I raised the question. Who will be Ember's partner next week when she tries to take on Fire and Desire?
I think it'll be absolutely nobody gives a shit, and it'll be
Wow.
Carmella, because that's the only, they've been talking about it for weeks. It's
already
Carmella.
been. I thought there's already been Carmella.
I know. That's why I'm thinking they just rerun the fuck out of it. They
That's
will.
true. They probably will. But Mandy and Sonia, I cannot wait till they futurely take on
Futurely, is
the
that a word?
future women's tag team champions and da na 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 na. Short Adventure Time with JC. The slap heard around the world. I can use that effectively for different reasons.
Okay.
But I kind of like the way they did this because they've taken the story, which it sucked because they literally dropped it, but they're using it to push this storyline forward. They're being like, look it, you guys are just avoiding us. They come out, they're like, the Iconics are all happy, and there's like, oh, Billy's sick. Oh, it's just like, they're so fucking funny. They're fucking great. And then Paige, of course, doing Paige things, slapped her around a little bit. So I like the way that they're reintegrating this now because they're using their fuck up as an effective device to push this story forward. Finally.
They got shirts. Let's put that over. They have shirts on WWEshop.com. You can get your Kabuki Warrior shirt. When I saw that, I went, that's adorable.
It's not the only new shirt that came out this week.
Oh, yeah?
Say yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot I sent you
You were
guys
the one who
that.
showed that.
Yeah, that's right. It's
Very
an
yellow.
ugly. It's an ugly shirt, though.
Yeah, but it does
It's not a good shirt.
have that old school vintage type
Yeah,
look.
here's the thing, though. In my opinion, there shouldn't be different color shirts. Like, unless you're John Cena, it doesn't matter. But you get you get a white T-shirt, nobody cares. You get a yellow T-shirt, makes you look like you got a hot dog mustard
Hey,
stain.
you know what?
Just saying.
They just trying to sell shit, man. Then people are gonna buy it. They don't give a shit. They can make it fucking tie-dye.
Another thing that made me very excited was they did another installment of the Ali superhero promo. I enjoyed that very much. I was concerned. Here's my they're doubling down on it, so I'm curious to see where we go with it. I love the character development. I love the exploration of what we're doing. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, do people like police? No. Like, they keep
Yeah, it's
they
tough.
keep going in there and going, I was a policeman. In my head, I'm like, if he had said he's a fireman, I would have been like, yeah, like, you
But
save
he
lives.
was a policeman.
No, I know that. But I'm just saying, like, when you say policeman, a lot of people don't like police. Like, you just, in my opinion, like, I talk to a lot of people, and they go, like, 5-0.
Well, 'cause there's a lot of videos that get on the internet. that-
Yeah, but so I'm thinking to myself, like, this could negatively backfire in a way if they don't tiptoe
Well,
around
here's
it.
how it's a little different because he doesn't have the look of your standard police officer,
Sure.
obviously. So it could also be a way to be like, look at, because like obviously not all policemen are bad. The
No, I
majority of
understand that.
policemen
No,
are
I understand
great
that.
at their job and whatever.
They are
It's
amazing.
like anything else. There's a lot of bad ones, and those are the ones that you really take notice
Yeah.
of, and it's frustrating. But so I don't know. I think it's just trying to show how he was. Be like, look at I wasn't a wrestler. Like I think that what they're really trying to portray is he took such a different journey than most people do to get here. Like he really had to work for it. He had things going against him. Like he's been on the streets, so he has that street toughness, which is why I think we really like the promos because it shows like it gives you some background to him.
Sure.
Makes it's unique to him, which we don't always get with a lot of these characters. There's just a lot of very generic stuff or a lot of really shitty looking stuff like knocking on Alistair's door and stuff. But that's why I like these. But yeah.
Yeah, look, I was fine with it, but I am curious to see where that goes because I don't have a problem with it per se because like I thank everybody that does police stuff, but I'm looking at it from certain perspectives of the crowd and wondering
well,
like
you
are
can't
they gonna
please everyone, man.
No, you can't. But it was something that came up to me because I feel like they're really like WWE does a really bad job sometimes of just kind of force feeding you things. So I'm almost wondering like if they tailored it more to like last week's promo or the week before there where they're like, I'm like, you can say like when I win, you win, or somebody like you is me, like that I can connect to. But the other stuff I'm like, I can't connect to him saving lives. I can connect to the person having a struggle. And that's where I was kind of like in on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still excited because I'm like, they're finally doing something with him and they're making something out of nothing. And I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate it a lot.
I'd like to get him back in the ring sooner rather than later. But you know what else I like on SmackDown? My new favorite, really short, like literally 20-second segment. Shelton Benjamin backstage not answering questions is so fucking perfect for him. I love it. The more Shelty B's on my TV, the better. He got a comeback last week from Joe, which redeemed him a little bit after his big faux pas earlier in the show, which shall not be named because that has been expunged from the record. But the more Shelty B on my TV, the better. But it just goes to the overall theme of ever since, like, we literally tirade about the wild card shit. The last, 3 weeks or so, they've really made a concerted effort to find ways to get almost everyone on TV in some capacity, just to give you a little bit of something to remind you they exist.
I don't know what he's looking at. I don't know what he's thinking.
Exactly. It's perfect.
It
It's
is.
perfect.
It's inquisitive. Somebody has a great meme, or sorry, a GIF where it's like it has Shelton just looking, and it's like math equations coming across, and I'm
He's literally a walking meme because he has such great facial expressions. He has such a great like confused face or like upset face. Like he's just
it's literally nothing, but it's something.
It's exactly
it's nothing.
exactly. It's such a little short thing that takes literally no effort. You just need someone to ask a question and him to stand there, and that's it. But it's so effective. I love it.
I just want to know, where do we go? Like what's next, right? So like you sit there and I'm enticed to continue with it, but I hope there's an actual plan. Like
Yeah,
that's my
getting him in the ring would be nice.
Yeah, like if he can't figure out how to win a match because he's still inquisitive, then I'm fine with that. But if we just get to the point where it's just like, Shelton Benjamin, what do you think? And it's literally 6 weeks of this, then eventually I'm going to be like, all right, what's the payoff? Like, where are we going with this? Because otherwise, it's nothing. It's just filler.
I have confidence that when Senor Bischoff, I just call him Bishop.
He is the Bishop of SmackDown.
I have a feeling that there'll be even more fun stuff, and Shelty B will be in a ring.
Anything else on the Blue brand that you're very excited about?
Yeah, but we'll save it.
Okay. We'll hit the high notes. Let's go over to Monday Night Raw.
Dun 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 dun. I got the swag. Hey you, hey.
We want the smoke. Gotta have that smoke.
I want all the smoke. More Street Profits, the better. Literally, their first one was hyping the Undertaker match. They got me so hyped for a match that I'm not gonna watch on Sunday. I was like, yes, tell me, Montez, tell me. Oh, Dawkins, just something. Yes, these guys are
Don't blow it.
Electric. Just having they were the best part of Raw. Their 2 segments, like just
That's our boy. I was going to say, we had a conversation with our boy Matt, and he goes, that's a bad thing when the Street Profits are the best thing on Raw. And I was like,
I don't think so. The Street Profits are literally the best thing in the world.
I mean, here's the thing. I have to tailor my expectations because I'm ready to go through the roof every time I see Montez Ford.
Just don't say it. You can think it. Just don't say it.
I love it. I mean, like, you watch that and you go, like, I can't say it because I don't want the Nestle curse. Like, I really don't want it for him.
He's so special.
But I'm just like, I look at him and I'm just like, he makes me happy.
Yeah.
He makes me
Him doing
happy.
the Rock stuff was great, and then Dawkins cutting him out. It was perfectly executed. Yeah. These guys are great.
They are. It's just like, it was like, what do you do? Like, are they eventually going to be on the show?
I think
wrestling?
they're going to be on Raw at some point. Yeah, I think this is just, this is more of like what I want to see. There's different ways to introduce obviously everything, and for them this is an effective way, just having them hanging out backstage, being annoying to people, but like also being entertaining. It's just because that way when they do eventually get in front of a live crowd, people are going to go nuts for them, and they're going to have an idea of what they're about. Even those who don't watch NXT, like instead of doing vignette promos, for them this is way more effective because you get Montez Ford a live mic and it is super hot fire. So I would expect this to continue for probably a month, maybe 2. We may not even see him until after SummerSlam, but I think that's okay because just having him do stuff like this, like, again, they hype me more for the matches on Sunday than anyone else could. Have them read all the promos, not Michael Cole.
Do you think it would matter if they changed it up a little bit and send them into the crowd to get the crowd riled up? Would that be okay?
I would be fine with that. Anything sort of like that, just like little short segments, just like little personality snippets of them, just to show what they're about.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
What else you got? I have a couple things, but what else you got? I know there's something you want to talk about. Come on.
Do you want to talk about it?
What's up, jobbers?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was excited to see Jobber Alert everywhere, but
the Justin Brothers.
The Justin Brothers, the first name.
I believe one of them was
last
also
name.
on 205 Live.
He was. If you actually, by the way, if you go to Twitter, and I think we're following them, it's local competitors. They always have the names of the local competitors and the real names that they are. I always like going to that Twitter handle because I always want to put those people over. So check that shit out. No, but I mean, like, I love jobber matches. I think that's great. I think the Vikings looked good.
Yeah.
The one thing I did want to say was, like, before the break, they did a shot of red light in the truck and had them, like, gear up for the Vikings, and I was like, that shit's cool.
Yeah.
I want more of that. Like,
but they're even though they don't have the name anymore, they are supposed to be an experience, so continue to make them an experience.
I did feel like I was getting the full Viking experience. I didn't even have to go on a cruise ship for that. But seriously, it was fun. There's a couple of things on here that I thought were good, but personally, there was a lot on this show that I didn't like.
Okay, well, I got 2 quick notes.
Okay.
I mean, the Cesaro beating No Way Jose, I liked. It's just something that would get Cesaro over,
Sure,
which we saw
sure.
what it's going to eventually lead to. And
Yeah.
plus, anytime we got congas, baby, I'm all for it. That's how you use these guys, because you remind us they're there. They set something up with it last week, so the match this week made sense. It just gives it a little extra for a short segment that would mainly be a throwaway, but you gave it that little extra to make it feel like it should be part of the show and something I enjoy. But the only other thing that I dug is, I don't know how you're going to feel about it because I know you're not the biggest fan of them, but I was really digging how it's gone all in now on the full heel Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
Because the worry was after Leo Rush, him without a mouthpiece, how are they going to present him? And they have presented him as an ass-kicking beast. I was a little concerned when he came out because obviously last week him and Braun both got injured and double injured and whatever, and I hate when you bring him back quick. But I thought it was effective the way they did it like this because, I mean, you made him this brooding, angry beast, and literally he destroyed Rey Mysterio, which really made him look like such a heel and got him a lot of heat because it was Mysterio's return. He's beloved. Guy was just off an injury. So I thought the way they booked this was perfect. So for me is shine.
I'm excited to see what they do with Bobby
I'm
Lashley.
excited for the match on Sunday. Legit.
I hope it's not some screwy dooey ducky kind of finish. Like I don't want no schmaz. I want like to me like
Let's be honest, it's going to be a double. They're both going to be
yeah, whatever. It's just like these 2 men can't even stand up. You know, it's like I get it, but like
I just want an 8-minute destruction match. And I hope that's what they just let them go balls to the wall. Doesn't need to be long, just like 8 minutes of them killing each other because that'll be good shit.
It'll
like
end with-
think about it, like a Brock Lesnar match. Just kill.
yeah. It'll end just like the John Cena Batista match where he duct taped him to the fucking post and he couldn't answer the bell. Which again, still an ingenious finish.
It is.
It's just for these guys, please don't do something like that. Give me
I
like
have a feeling Braun might get a
destruction.
definitive win.
Destruction. I want
Unless if this is going to continue.
I mean, how many more things can they
But
possibly
what's the
do?
next pay-per-view?
I think it's SummerSlam. I think they're taking a break on it at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because it is July. Shit, it's already mid-July.
Yeah. So it is what it is, my friend.
Yeah.
My friend. Look, there's not a lot on the show that I enjoyed.
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
gonna lie to you.
out of shine.
I
so.
think it is either time we go detective hunting or we go into the heat. It's up to you. Pick the door.
You know what? Let's go to Detective Hunky. I can't even speak, but I saw Huskus.
Yes. Did you see the other one? You did not.
What
Interesting.
show was it on?
SmackDown.
I did not see SmackDown.
Wow.
SmackDown, I didn't watch live this week on either because
Neither
of
did I.
Celtics Summer League. And so a lot of the times when
Why
I'm, like,
would you
flipping
watch
through-
Celtics Summer League?
Because we're the home of the Celtics, dipshit. It's my job.
Wow.
And it's
That got-
great shit. Are you not part of Taco Time?
I mean, I enjoyed watching the highlights, but I mean, like, that was only 6 minutes of my life. But anyway, back from Taco
Watch
Time.
the whole game where they just show Taco the whole time.
Well, do you
And
think? By the way,
there
do-
were people dressed up like tacos at the game
do
with
you
their
think-
Twitter handles on
do
their
you,
heads.
do you think he's going direct to D League? By the way, he has to.
Let me put it like this because I love it. He's fun. I'm glad they signed him. But let me just give you this simple thing. The guy is 7'6" and didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
He's not good.
No, he's clunky.
Could he be good in 5 years? Maybe. But honestly, I think he has a career where he could play in China for 15 years and be the biggest thing over there, figuratively and literally, because they fucking love the big guys.
All right, back to wrestling now.
Whoa.
Sorry.
No, my ears just popped.
Oh, there you go. Back to wrestling. Now it is time to go detective hunting very quickly with Detective Nessel. So here's what I saw. First off, there's Huskus in the background as Ricochet is getting out there. But the one thing that Josh, who the fuck is Josh,
Yeah, who the fuck is that?
and the rest of the world may not have seen was what in SmackDown, coming down the hallway, Bayley was getting ready, and out popped Rambling Rabbit in the background.
That's what Bailey's promos sound like. So.
Exactly. So here we go.
And also, maybe they want Ricochet to eat some burgers or something.
Here we
'cause
go.
He's looking so lean and mean.
So here's what I thought about this week. I went, I think these puppets were particularly given for a certain particular reason. So with Ricochet, I thought to myself, Huskus, the pig boy, was a fat slob. Needed to do the Muscle Man dance, right? Everything, you know? And which, by the way, mental note for Muscle Man dance later. So we're doing this thing, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, okay, there's Huskus. And there's a clearly very in shape Ricochet. And I thought to myself, this was picked for a reason. And then you think about it, you go to the Ricochet match. He had to wrestle 2.5 matches essentially. So it was like the longevity of like Huskus may just be the person that always goes after the people that are in shape or have an eating thing. Or like the more I was looking at it, it's like he's targeting certain things here and there. And I was fascinated by it because it really was like a nice little give and take. Now, I'm probably looking way too far into this,
Duh, that's the whole point.
but I'm looking into it going, okay. And then on SmackDown, I'm like Rambling Rabbit. As I see him pop up, I'm thinking to myself like, okay, so is this a callback to the fact that we know that most likely Bayley can't cut a promo? And then she goes out and she cuts a fucking promo, contract signing. Fuck me, right? Like this thing was just fucking drizzling shits. So I don't know if it was a joke to be like, watch the Rambling Rabbit terrible segment we know we have in front of us, but the rest of it'll be pretty good. And I thought, this is a good way to use the puppets. Like, foreshadow what you already know. Foreshadow little things here and there. Because I was looking at it going, well, is Bray going to go after the United States Championship? Is Bray going to go after Bayley? Is Bayley going to be Sister Abigail? Like, all that stuff, that can't happen. But watching those puppets, like, look at somebody and, like, pop up for a reason, like, if Huskus is, like, somebody in shape, like the Muscle Man dance, like, that makes more sense to me and makes me laugh. Rambling Rabbit will pop up when you see somebody that's not strong in promos. That makes me go, that's a giggle, and that's also good. Like, I enjoy that stuff. Sister Abigail and, what is the other guy?
Mercy.
Like, those ones are going to be difficult for me because when I'm watching the Firefly Fun House, got to slow it down. When I do that, I'm looking at it going, well, I know that Abigail is the key. Rambling Rabbit is this and that. So it's just, I'm looking at it very specifically. And I think in this week, that's what they should be doing continuously. I don't know if he's going to show up at Extreme Rules. I doubt it. I still think we're waiting.
I hope not. I'm not ready yet.
I literally think it's building anticipation for it, and we're waiting till September. I think that's when we're going to see it.
I honestly, the longer the better, because I just, especially with the current environment, like we already have so much to look forward to.
Right.
Next week's the official first week of Heyman Bischoff era, allegedly. Yeah. We have, I think, Orton coming back. Ali still needs to return to reign. Alistair's returning on Sunday.
Sure.
We already have all these other guys popping in that... And like, could be Sasha coming soon too. Like, who knows? So I just think the longer we wait with Bray, the better. I mean, the SummerSlam area, I think would be a good starting point, or after that.
Okay, there you go. That's all I got this week because there's not a lot to go on. So there you go.
Well, we're gonna start with the heatiest of heat because you ready? I haven't been here for 2 weeks, so I need to flame you up. We're both wearing our super hot fire shirts, so let's get the flames going.
Let's not.
There's actually two, but we're going to start with, I'll start it, and then you can chime in when you see fit.
Oh, goddamn.
No entrance for the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Revival. They also went the fuck out of order. The Miz comes out, and those two come out during break, and then Usos come out last. But the stipulation for this match.
Don't do it.
A 2 out of 3 falls match that it was a 6-man tag.
I can't do it.
These honestly, as good as like SmackDown was, and as good as Raw's, how much better Raw's been except for this week. These new rules with the commercials, like it takes out of the show so much, and you can see it literally kills the crowd. The crowd is dead for these matches, and it sucks. And you're seeing like the main events were short. Like that SmackDown main event was like 5 minutes. I think the Raw, I don't even remember what the Raw main event was, but it was short too. But this 2 out of 3 falls 6-man tag. I would like to hear your thoughts, Nestlemania.
First off, I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Ray Ray, who was actually nervous for my well-being on Monday night because it's 2 things that I hate more than anything.
2 for 1 deal, baby!
Not only are they upsetting me in one way, they're upsetting me in multiple ways. So here we go. Ready? Here's what you wanted. Here's your goddamn money's worth. I didn't even watch Raw right out of the gate, right? So here's what I thought to myself. I went, God damn it. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match. Bad. Then it's a 6-man tag. Bad. I tried watching it, DVR'd it on my PlayStation View. You know how bad this was? It gave my computer a sickness, wouldn't even let me watch it because it knew how much upset I was going to be when I was watching it. Then, here's the kicker. I had to rewatch because PlayStation couldn't get their fucking shit together. I had to go watch it on Hulu the next morning before work. They cut it out of Hulu. That's when you know it doesn't fucking matter.
It's literally was time filling.
It was.
It was 5 guys that I love, and then I don't even remember who the 6-man was because he's irrelevant.
It's Elias.
Yeah, he doesn't cut promos anymore. He's irrelevant. He sucks because Shane buried him. But it's like the rest of those guys are 5 of my favorites, and I just didn't care because when you do a match like that, you're telling me this means nothing. There were no stakes.
No
there
stakes.
Were 0 stakes. No stakes and weights, baby. I want some stakes. I need some weight.
I need some prime motherfucking rib, and right now I'm getting nothing. I'm eating a vegan course watching this bullshit. Nothing against vegans, but seriously, what the fuck? Like I took notes watching. I had to, because it's me. I had to watch it because it made me so very angry while I was watching it. Ready? Watch. 6-man tag. First fall. 3 fucking minutes. Elias leaves, and then somehow, some way, Revival gets the fucking fall. Whatever, fine. 4 minutes in the second fall, Miz beats Dawson with a fucking skull-crushing finale. Whatever. 1 minute later, as you can tell they're rushing the third fall, there it is. Uso pins Dawson. That's it. Why? Why? A collective thing. But by the way, commercial breaks don't count anymore, right? So we're looking at this going, I'm looking. This was, get this, an 8-minute match. Why couldn't it have been just an 8-minute 6-man tag where I could have lost my mind on that? But no, you have to add these stupid fucking things in here where it's 2 out of 3 falls. I get what you're trying to do.
No, you don't. It's bad.
But it's just
bad.
Fucking terrible television. Every fucking week it's terrible television. And as we fucking say on this program, every good goddamn week, wins and losses don't matter. Wins and losses. Yep. The Revival hit him with the Shatter Machine. It doesn't matter. Or rolled up or whatever the hell they did first fall. And it's just like, it's forgotten because guess what? The Miz and the Usos beat Revival. It's just like, it wasn't even 50-50 booking. It was just undoing twice what you did before. It makes no goddamn sense.
You know what else doesn't make sense? A mixed tag team elimination match.
Don't even.
Huh? So let me get this straight. So there can only be 2 eliminations in this match. So the first elimination happens, Becky takes out Zelina. But in the process of eliminating Zelina, Becky eliminates herself because in WWE rules and mixed tags, she can't fight Andrade. She still stood on the apron, but for some reason it's made no sense. Obviously Seth gets the pin, so whatever, they go 2-0. But what if Andrade had pinned Seth?
Then what?
Technically, Becky had eliminated Zelina, and Andrade would have eliminated Seth. That would have been a tie.
Yeah.
But, so you're telling me the first elimination is irrelevant.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's the point?
Nothing.
Literally, like, this was just like, this made no goddamn sense.
It's
and it
bad.
was dumb, and poor Lacey trying to freaking fight in that skirt's painful. You can tell she's trying to waddle around to make a punch. She almost falls over after that. Baron Corbin, by the way, very handsome man. They have him showing off his tat now. They haven't done. I read a thing.
As long as we don't get to the stomach, we'll be okay.
I know we don't like to bring up the dirt sheets, but I read this and I thought it was hilarious. Someone's like, the reason why Vince really wants to push Baron Corbin a lot is because he's so handsome and women want him. And so like now every week I'm watching to see if they make little things with his look, and they have like Lacey touching him. They have him all unbuttoned now, and I'm like, oh my god, this shit sheet might be right, because Corbin is just trying to make him look like the most dapper thing ever. I laugh at it. It's fucking great. I love him though. Oh, he's the best.
That segment was. I'm glad you took the words right out of my fucking mouth because I didn't want to spend any more time on it. But it was just like, what? Huh? Yeah. Okay. Sure. But it was just like then Zelina was outside the ring, like just hanging out, and then she got involved.
When
anyway.
you get eliminated, you're supposed to leave.
Yeah. It was just like, what the fuck are we
you
watching?
Leave.
No, you leave.
You touched my butt.
It's just. I hated it. Hated it.
So I have a question.
Yes. Go for it.
Because I obviously didn't see anything last week.
Yes.
And they're not normally on the show. But you got to explain to me what the fuck is going on with Mike and Maria. Why does she hate him
Okay,
now?
so
I'm so confused.
We didn't talk about it very much on the other, I guess a little bit.
You did talk about it, but I didn't understand why she hated him.
It's bad television. So essentially, Mike can't win a match. Mike can't be a man. And so what ended up happening was Maria said that maybe I should have the man impregnate me next time, which is fine. It was okay. It was like a shock value segment, which whatever. It is what it is. But this week they had ice cream and pickles. He went out and got it, came back, and then she said, I'm not even sure you're the dad, which again, for the love of God, please don't make us a Who's Your Daddy angle. I do not want this on my television. Get it off my TV. Get it off my TV. Get it off my TV. I don't want this Jerry Springer, Montez, whatever the fuck it is. Montel, sorry, that's what I should have said, because Montez is better than that. But there's so many things going on where I'm looking at it going, what the hell? Like, why? Why are we doing this? And it just makes no good goddamn sense. None of it is in anything anybody wants, and they're like, yes, it's not for you. There's part of the crowd that wants it. Show me. Show me who wants this.
So who's the daddy?
I don't care. I don't care. I would rather, it's probably Vince McMahon, because it always ends with Vince McMahon and dad angles. It always does. Hornswoggle. Yeah. It was Vince McMahon as his daddy. Actually, it's the reverse, but Vince McMahon was the dad.
I mean, Mark Henry's been a daddy before on WWE TV.
Not technically a whole person, but yes, Mark Henry, he gave birth to a hand. Well, Mae Young did. God bless her soul.
Mae Young gave birth to a hand. Because Mark Henry's seed was just so strong, it made a giant hand.
A giant hand. No, No dad angle has
So
ever
that's what
been
they're
good.
going for, because I was so confused.
It's bad.
I'm like, their whole thing is they're like, the power of love and everything.
No.
I'm like, why does she? I know she's pregnant, but like, why does she like hate him?
The swerve, bro, is gonna be that she's not even fucking pregnant. She's just nuts. That's
Yeah.
what it should be. Like they wouldn't even-
She's a great actress. Like,
She
she's
is.
very good on television. So I'm glad that they're getting a chance on Raw.
Yeah.
I think that's a very positive of it. But I was just I just need to be explained because I'm like,
Ugh.
what the hell is going on?
It was bad. It's just not something I would prefer to watch something else, but I enjoy them, so it's just like it's painful.
It's a mixed bag.
It's bad.
What else you got in Raw? Anything?
Because
Because I'm out of Raw.
Here's what I want to know. Why is Bailey and Nikki in a via satellite happening on Raw when it's a SmackDown thing? Like, I get we're stuck in this goddamn wild card fucking Twilight Zone where it's just like, doesn't matter. The zone you're entering, nobody knows. But it's just like, she's the SmackDown Women's Champion. Why do we care about the championship of another show?
She's feuding with two people from Raw.
I don't care.
I know.
I don't care. And I don't want it. I don't want it because it just doesn't do anything for me. And I just want sense. I don't even want it to be, well, that's not true. I do want it to be good. But I just want to be able to watch a television show where I can either enjoy it because it's giving me satisfaction as a fan, or I can actually makes me think in a positive way. I don't want to be watching something going, why are they doing that? Like, it takes me out of and I know they can't hit a home run for 3 hours every week. I can't do it. But God, like, it's just so frustrating when you watch something, you're like, do they even want to make sense? Do they even want logic? Like, I know someone's going to be sitting there going, that Nestle kid knows nothing, which maybe that's the truth. But at the same time, it's a flawed logic if most of the majority of your audience doesn't want to see it.
Well, I have one word literally to describe this feud, is it is overexposed. Because in terms of like the actual storyline, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. Like I like
it's
the
fine.
Nikki angle with Alexa is interesting, but the problem is it is literally on both Raw and SmackDown every week. There's too much of it. I got sick of Nikki Cross this week. It was too. I don't want to hear her talk that much. And it's like you do the via satellite interview with them, and then you have the match later. And then on SmackDown, you do
Beat the clock.
Which
always
Raw was
sucked.
beat the clock, and then on SmackDown you did another more fucking
Oh,
shit.
that was right. They did the contract.
They did the
signing. Yeah,
contract
yeah.
signing where it was just more promos, and it's like, and then didn't she fight
beat
Carmella?
Carmella, yep.
So it's like,
Which she's
like
done
what?
rerun
So we
style.
had 2 in-ring segments for each of them and 3 matches for this one feud.
Yeah, it's
and
a
one
lot.
of the people isn't even there
And
to
she's
push
not
it
yet.
forward.
Which I get with that portion to make sense. That does.
Overexposed.
It's bad. Just reel it back. Just reel it back, because the rest of the pay-per-view could have been decent. Like they've got enough things. By the way, Extreme Rules doesn't have enough extreme things. You want to tell me a handicap match is extreme?
We've been saying
Get
that
out
for
of
like 5 years.
Good
It's
God.
just-
This is a pay-per-view wrapped in bubble wrap. This one is like Extreme
There
Rules.
are some matches I'm excited for. We'll get to that, but yeah, it's again, it's like the same as Hell in the Cell.
Ugh.
All these other gimmick ones. It's
Lord.
just they want to have the name because you see what happens. They name something Stomping Grounds,
Nobody
and
watches.
they can't sell it. But you name something Extreme Rules, it sells. So unfortunately, the fans and all like the whole system, we're all part of the
Yeah,
problem.
we are.
Because the reason why they give it the sexy names is 'cause people be like, oh, I know I'll get something there. Whereas when you get Stomping Grounds, you're like, what am I getting?
Well, hey, I know that I turned in and watched Great Balls of Fire. That
Yeah,
one had me. Had
that
me
one I was
interested.
shocked they got rid of because that one was great.
Yeah.
That was like what 2 or 3 years ago. Now?
Yes, and it was amazing.
Great Balls of Fire.
It was great.
Yeah, bring it
so
back.
bring that shit back. Bring back Halloween Havoc, by the way. That's a thing I would love to see. Halloween themed pay-per-view would be great. Just saying. All right.
Do you have anything else on Raw?
I mean,
We haven't
didn't-
talked about the bottle full of bub.
yeah, so that was where I was going, because AJ in the club, it was heel shit, and I appreciate it. Ricochet, again, it's just like, I appreciated that he tried, and it was just like, his promo work is not very
not good.
It's not good. And I was like,
They don't need to have him cut promos though. His
No.
promos are his ring work.
Yeah,
he's
and-
the type of guy that literally just have him wrestle. Maybe he says 2 words, like how you originally started with Braun. Not obviously as the big like, "Ugh," but Ricochet just like if maybe he has like one witty line that you give him.
yeah, that's all.
That's
and it was
it.
fine. That's fine. But this promo was like, I know that I know that everybody has this like anybody that's in the WWE has this goddamn mandate that's thrown down to them where it's like, in order to connect with the crowd, you need to be able to be vocal. You need to be able to talk to them. Which again, they're not wrong, but there
But
are
that isn't
certain-
how Ricochet has gotten us enamored with him.
Exactly.
He got us enamored with him because he does the most insane flippy dippies I've ever seen in my life, and he's literally like ricocheting around the arena. He's electric to watch.
Yeah.
I don't ever need to hear him speak. He would be like, if he was a mute, it'd be better for his character.
Well, maybe he'll be Silent Bob. Who knows? Who knows? You
Silent
probably-
Rick. Silent Rick O'Shea.
O'Shea.
one and only.
But look, like he does the whole thing where he beats. First off, it's just bizarre. He beats Luke Gallows first, which I assume doesn't make any sense in the logic. In my point of view, would be like, why didn't you beat Carl, then Luke, then you get AJ? But it was like backwards to me. It's like you didn't do them a disservice, I guess, but you didn't do him a service either.
No, he did not.
It was just like,
Battle of the Balds.
yeah, it was
Part
just
1 and 2.
Yeah, seriously, it's just like the bald buddies. It's just whatever. And I appreciated the fact that they beat him down, but it's like he said in the promo he knew what he was getting into. Yet he still had the same result. It was just like, and by the way, that AJ Styles clash off the second rope, oh, I love it. Like, I love that idea.
Dangerous, but
Dangerous.
I love it.
Yeah, I love danger. Give me more danger. But there's so much about it that I want to enjoy because, again, on paper, once the bell rings, we're going to enjoy it.
Yes.
But it's just the muck of it that I have to go and go, why? Why? Like, this was fine. But again, a longer segment where I'm just like, I didn't need the promo, and I definitely didn't need these commercial break things, and I didn't need the fact, like,
That's the thing is we're only, 3 weeks into this, and they've already, pulled out all the stops of ways
Sure.
to do it. It's the only time it works is SmackDown has the picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you get Raw picture-in-picture, because it's just, it's not realistic for it to, them not to wrestle during commercial breaks unless you start giving people fucking timeouts or something.
timeouts.
Oh,
Flag on the
we're
play.
getting there, and that's the only thing left they can do is if they have instant reviews or timeouts. But then it's you're taking literally the worst part of professional sports and adding it to your product. So don't do that.
Imagine if we
Oh
get...
crap! I just gave Vince an idea.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no!
Imagine if we get to a point where we live in the world where WWE has timeouts and it's literally 1, 2, timeout. That's what they're gonna do.
Instead of kicking out, they time out.
They're gonna
Oh,
time
God.
out. I didn't lose. I called the timeout. That's what they're gonna fucking do.
That's rough.
They're gonna fucking do that, and it's gonna be terrible. And of course, we had most of the stuff with the Shane McMahon looking for garbage duty and people backstage, and
it's
it's
bad.
it's not great. It's not wonderful. It's not something I enjoyed. And it's just not great. 24/7, however, I thought they did a decent job this week. It was a lot of running around again. I hate that running around.
It's the running around title. Keep away.
His wife did a great job of just being like, hey, like,
Is she signed or is she just kind of?
I have no
chilling?
idea. But I mean, like, she's doing a good job of what she's doing, and I appreciate that. So I will say, very quickly, I will say this because I know Ray has got a head-scratching moment. It's not necessarily a shine nor a heat, whatever. I just want to throw this very quickly before we get into the rest of the program. I watched a Sarah Logan match that was okay.
Yeah.
It was the first time I watched it and went, nothing went wrong. It could have because, let's face it, the people involved, but because we've seen it before and it's been terrible. And I went, this is a rerun, but she looks less tan. She looks different for some reason, Sarah Logan. I don't know what's different about her, but I looked at her and I went, maybe she's refreshed.
She doesn't have a bleached blonde and a riot.
Hey,
next
how
to her.
dare you? Both of those
Hey,
are
you know
very
what?
good.
Oh, whoa! Bonus hope. I hope Ember's partner's Liv Morgan.
There you go.
Just give me something different. We all want Liv.
Yeah.
You see it on Twitter every night for SmackDown. People getting mad.
Yeah,
Free Liv.
I think they call it SmackDown Live.
Yeah, SmackDown Live.
Yeah,
it's
SD
much better
Live.
than SmackDown Live.
So look, I'm just excited for that. I hope that works out. But like, I'm sitting there going, "This." We gave her a lot of shit, so I wanted to specifically point out that it was almost my comeback this week. It really was.
Wow.
That's how much I was impressed by it. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I mean, it's still kind of heaty because the match wasn't like the
dumb.
greatest thing ever, but it was better than what I expected. So, is what it is. Oh, speaking of which. I forgot about this one. Corey interviews Seth and Becky backstage. That one was a little rough for me. Like, I don't want to spend time talking about it, but I just want to talk about how, I guess I got to talk about it, but it was just like, walk, yaka, yaka. It's just like, yaka, it's just like, they've taken away, and we saw the video of them doing the Dirty Dancing thing at the live event, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on this entire thing.
So, the Brawlins thing has literally taken all of Seth's stank and rubbed it all over Becky. I don't give a fuck about either of them anymore. I hope they lose and they both take time off.
Wow.
Because I think they like this. This has literally, for me, I'm just so bored with them. It's just not interesting. And just it was two things that were great by themselves. Like together, it's just whatever. I know it's just I get what they're trying to do, and I don't mind them trying something different. But I just it's cringe. The live event stuff doesn't bother me. It's a fucking live event. Do whatever you want. I'm glad they didn't do that on the actual TV, but. Like that promo, it's just rough. It's I don't too much stanky Seth all over Becky now.
And finally, the one thing we didn't really allude to, Cesaro answers the knock on
Yeah,
Heaven's
so
door.
my problem with this is I think it would have been more effective if they revealed this on Sunday Because then we have the whole week to think about
Sure.
it. People to speculate. Cesaro's one of the guys we thought anyways.
Sure.
But there were also the rumors that Orton's going to be back from injury soon, so it could have thought it was him. You obviously got Ali cutting promos, like Buddy Murphy teasing on Twitter. So at least, like, anytime you can save intrigue for the pay-per-view, because I feel like they give so much away early because they need to sell it. But this match, I think, would have sold better as just Alistair versus mystery opponent. Even though we love Cesaro, but Alistair Cesaro now it just sounds like, oh, this will be sandwiched in the card somewhere. Alistair will probably win like an 8-minute match to show off. Cesaro will have great moves. It'll be really good, and we'll probably see more from it. But I feel like the reveal would have been better, especially because they fucking reveal Cesaro with a goddamn mouth guard, and then he can't talk. It's just like Cesaro's the same thing as Ricochet. We fall in love with him because of what he does in the ring. He's another guy, like if he was a mute, it would be better. Because it's just like every time he talks, that's why Vince was like, Antonio Cesaro sounds like a pussy. His voice, pussy. Get rid of the Antonio, and he can't talk. Give him Zeb Coulter.
I don't know.
It worked.
I don't know why your face and you saying pussy. Like it's just like I lost it.
You know that's what Vince said.
No,
That's a word. I apologize if I offended anyone if you use it.
No,
but like,
I know.
you know that's exactly what Vince was thinking. We
Yeah.
talked about it at the time. It's like because Cesaro is more of that. Like he's just not a good promo. This is what it is. Another guy where less is more.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about
Anything else we want to roll on?
Nope.
Okay, let's move on.
that. Glorious.
You want to do your hope? Go ahead.
Okay. So I had two. I don't really know which one I want to do.
Pick a door.
I'll do one. So let's clean up this Becky, Alexa, Nikki mess. So we obviously have
You
the
mean
match.
Bailey?
What'd I say?
Said Becky.
Yeah, well, she's a mess too. Bailey, Alexa, Nikki mess. A different mess. A lot of mess going on in the.
Hot mess.
Yeah. The hot mess is not. Is she coming back soon, by the way? She's going to be
She's
getting
already
close.
She's already back.
Okay.
She's already back.
I haven't read the spoilers, so.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, so they have a handicap match. Great, because that's what we're looking forward to. A 2-on-1 match where you know Bailey's going to fucking win. We know Bailey's going to fucking win. So for me, the most booking sense is that Bailey wins because Alexa and Nikki have a miscommunication. And then after the match, the two of them beat the living fuck out of Bailey because that's just what they'll do. You get a full heel turn from Nikki Cross with Alexa, like whatever. And then you expect like, oh man, we're going to have to run this thing back again. But then it's like, it's boss time. Out comes Sasha Banks to save her best friend, former best friend, something we don't even know anymore because that was so convoluted, Bailey. And she fends off Alexa and Nikki. And then they get the ring. Bailey goes in for a hug. And Sasha beats the living fuck out of her. You want to make me care about Bailey as champion? Give me a super heel for her to feud with. And why not ones that already have a story so rich? We're approaching SummerSlam. We thought that was going to happen to SummerSlam last year, and I was excited for it. I was like, please, just give us this feud. It was so good in NXT. It's been long enough now. They have great chemistry together. Like, Sasha needs to be back in a title picture. I don't know. She could go after Becky, but the Bailey one just makes so much sense, and this is the feud we want. The boss as a heel is what we want. It'd be a nice swerve because the crowd would instantly turn on Sasha when she started beating down Bailey. It would get Bailey over even more because it would give Bailey that little bit of an edge that we've seen pieces of in this feud, but not fully because obviously Alexa's good at bringing out that kind of stuff too. But that's my hope is it's boss time on Sunday. She returns to save Bailey and then beat down Bailey. And to SummerSlam we go with a SmackDown Women's Championship has a feud I actually care about between Bailey and Sasha Banks. And eventually Sasha to get that win. And those two could go for a while, and maybe this time they'll do it a little better and not send them to therapy. That's my hope. Hashtag JC's hopes come true. Hashtag JC knows. That's all I got.
That was good.
Yeah.
Now, wondering if that actually happens, that'd be pretty good. Because then you can sit on this program and be like, see, I called it again just like Sammy a year or two ago.
Yeah. Hashtag JC knows.
And where did that go? Where did that go?
Oh, where? By the way, where is Sammy?
He's just not there.
He was on every show, like
Yeah.
overexposed forever, and now was he on last week?
No, I don't think so.
I wonder. I saw he's doing some serious stuff, so maybe they're just taking him off TV while he's doing that. But
Maybe.
I don't know.
Here's my hope.
Ooh.
Not great. Not
Wow.
wonderful. It's not going to be as good as yours. I will say this much. I kind of want to see Kevin Owens not wrestle for a while. I want Kevin Owens to get the Braun Strowman treatment. Not necessarily Destructor, but I want him to just fucking just be thrown out, not do things, have him show up unannounced, have him do things unannounced, have him up in the balcony talking on a microphone, have him have a megaphone, have him be disrupting,
good.
have him be destructing what is going on, have him get arrested, have him get a restraining order, go do all that stuff with Kevin Owens, because quite frankly, we know when Kevin Owens goes in the ring, we know it's a money thing. We know it. But what I would prefer is to have him, and this is the part that I think WWE needs to explore more of, it's just like with the Rambling Rabbits of the world, or the Firefly Funhouse stuff, or whatever, the fla, as I have to say, like that stuff, Braun backstage with all that stuff. Like they need to do more things that aren't necessarily wrestling, giving me the variety. And I think having KO have like brawls backstage, have him on location doing brawls. Maybe he shows up to Stamford, Connecticut. Maybe he does little things here and there. Maybe he has to go above and beyond. Maybe he goes back to NXT. Do something like there where he's thrown off of the shows and like stuff like that. Like have him go do live events somewhere for maybe Evolve, like something like that where it's just like he has to be pushed away by management in a different Austin-y way, I guess is the best way to say it, without him coming out with a beer truck and start humming shit. I don't want that. Don't give him a full. He already has the stunner. But for me, have him kind of just, if we're going to do it, he's the closest thing we have to a male superstar at this point, in my opinion. He is. We know Roman's there. Roman's always going to be the flag bearer, the standard bearer. But KO right now, if you like the match, what I think they've done, he could be monumental.
Oh, yeah.
He could be on that Mount Rushmore if done correctly,
Ooh.
in my opinion.
And we know Vince does love him.
Yes.
He loves KO, so the booking will be there.
And I'm looking at it going, make him who he is. Make him a jerk. Let him do what he has to do. So that's my hope. Hashtag Nestle's hopes come true. Hashtag Nestle knows. Hashtag Nestle better get it right.
Well, you just screwed it all up, but you know what? We'll let that go. Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for, I don't know. But, the main event of Raw was shit, but there was one thing that shined right above the rest. There was all the speculation when he started coming down. There's obviously only so many people it could have been. I was hoping for Shelty B, but I was pleasantly surprised. Our boy, the Joe Stopper, called it. Cedric Alexander, the Age of Alexander, main evented Monday Night Raw. He did all his moves in a freaking jumpsuit, janitor suit with a mask on.
Nacho
which
Libre.
Shouts, man. He only botched that one little springboard, but he did his flippy dippy over the rope perfectly. He did the springboard perfectly later in the match. This is the best Cedric Alexander has looked that you could, and he lost.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter about the loss. He was in the ring as a partner with Roman Reigns against that annoying Shane McMahon and that useless sidekick he has that I don't even know his name because
Mac
he's
Daddy?
irrelevant. But Alexander looked great. It was a little thing to get him over there. It's that underdog thing with Cedric of why we cheered for him and asked him to be signed in NXT. Why, like the cruiserweight thing going up and, his feuds with Neville and everything else getting there. It is what really got us interested in him is because he is an underdog.
Yeah.
He has the look of an underdog. His wrestling style is an underdog. He doesn't give up. What did they call him? He was the heart of 205 Live and Ali was the soul.
Yeah.
And those guys still have that. So it's just perfect. That's why he gets my comeback. I loved it.
Yeah. It was
It
weird.
had Paul Heyman written all over it too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It was nice. It was a different thing. Again, I was confused with the fact that they were celebrating after a loss. It was weird to me, but I appreciated the fact that Cedric got on television. My comeback. Did you hear that? That was weird. Sorry.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. Sorry. Sorry. I'll cut
I
that
thought
out.
I heard something earlier too.
Whatever.
I was really confused.
Anyway, sorry. So sorry. My comeback is, of course, Shinsuke Nakamura. I was very excited about. It was something interesting, and I was very excited. And it was like I forgot how great his song is to jam out to, and just like bob your head to. He wore his, Saturday Night Fever's best. Came out, did his electrifying whatever. Beat Finn Balor to a pulp. Which, by the way, Finn Balor has been out for like months. It seems like at this point. I know it's probably only been like 4
Finn
weeks.
Balor put him over so hard.
But I was just like, this right here shows, in my opinion, that nobody, and I'm talking to you, filthiest of sheets, and of course, wrestling Twitter, and anybody else that thinks that they know something, nobody is buried. Nobody is really buried until they're dead and gone. Because literally it took me, it's a good song too. I turn my head to the east. Sorry. So Shinsuke, doesn't matter, came from obscurity eventually, or purgatory, depending on where you ask, came in, beat the living crap out of Finn Balor, and I was like, I'm off to the races.
Clean.
I want it. I wanted more of it.
SummerSlam, this is a great match.
Yeah.
This is like that indie darling fan match that people want, and it's gonna be on SummerSlam, and it's gonna be spectacular.
It's a wrestle boner.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Don't do it on Sunday, WWE.
No.
Please let it marinate and do it at SummerSlam.
It is a steak tip. We want steaks. We want steaks.
Steaks
baby.
and weights, baby.
There it is. My comeback goes to Shinsuke Nakamura.
Love it. Should we finish it off?
I think this needs to be finished.
We're going to get busy in the finish because not only do we have Extreme Rules, we're going to do a quick peek at Fight for the Fallen, and then
Oh,
you're going to
boy.
hype Evolve because I honestly don't know much about
Quick
it.
shout out to Evolve. They're doing a special against, I believe, the Fight for the Fallen at the exact same time. Kind of a bonehead move, in my opinion. But
No,
I
I
will
think
say,
it's smart.
But
It's smart.
But I will say, for the Evolve people, especially for me, I work for Proving Ground and I help out with Proving Ground. We had one of our main eventers on Proving Ground, the retrosexual Anthony Green, who is, in my opinion, the best worker in New England at this rate.
Ooh.
Finally has an Evolve contract, and he is wrestling at Evolve. Check out, at the very least, Anthony Green. This guy is going to be in NXT. This guy's going to be at WWE. And he's one of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life. So I can't be happier for that dude. So check out that Evolve, if only for
When is
Anthony.
it? Saturday at what?
Saturday, I believe it's 7 or 8.
So
somewhere.
right at the same time.
Same
as it,
time.
yep. Love
But-
it. Love
but-
it.
So
Dual
check
screen
out,
that.
and of course, there's a host of NXT guys doing a lot of cool stuff on the WWE Network. Also check out Josh Briggs from here, chaotic guy, amazing. Two of those guys, they're also actually best friends as well. But those two are worth your money, worth your time, and I want to say special shout out to those guys because I'm big fans of them. So there you go. Well, let's go on to the rest.
Before we get to Extreme Rules, though, I'm going to socialize the podcast.
There you go.
So make sure you give us 5 stars, 5 flames on whatever you're listening to, but especially iTunes. We're also on Podomatic, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean. I'm a little rusty. Spotify, and archived on YouTube. So yeah, like, subscribe, download on all those. Jobberknocker.com. That's the website where you can find those links. But also, we got lots of content coming for you this week. We obviously have the Extreme Rules predictions. Our boy at TJ of the JK not only is doing his weekly NXT, but he has a Fight for the Fallen preview, which will be out very soon. But also the Cruiserweight Report by our boy the Joe Stopper.
I called it 205.
I know you did, but it's the Cruiserweight Report. I'm sure I'll have plenty to say because that Lorcan Davari match, I watched it. It was good. Loved it. Enjoyed it. It was vicious. Also, of course, NXT UK by the Real Deal B Cox. So check out all that and more on Jobberknocker.com. Pro Wrestling Tees, buy the shirt. We're both repping the Super Hot Fire.
It's good.
Also, there's Monday Night Rerun and the official Jobberknocker shirt, all available there for a price. So do that.
$19.99.
Yeah. Twitter, at Jobberknocker, at Nestlemania, at JC of the JK, at DQ of the JK, at Ray Ray of the JK, at Billy D2411, at Joe Pollock47, at TJ of the JK, and at The Real Deal B Cox. Facebook Jobberknocker, Instagram Jobberknocker, because we are everywhere you want to be on social media. And you know where else we are? In your ears right now about Extreme Rules. 10 matches booked currently. If
Holy
there's more,
good.
you'll have to go to the website to find out what we think. But we're going to start off with the match that was added, I believe, during SmackDown last night or after Raw. I don't even know. But it is a tag team match
Playa.
for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships.
What?
The Revival, Say Yeah, of Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder defend against the Usos of Jimmy and Jay. So I ask you, Nestlemania, who you got?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Say yeah, baby.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna give it to the Revival.
I think they're going to lie and cheat and steal their way to a win because I want at SummerSlam, I want this match to fucking be a hour and a half long of just
Tag
chaos.
team.
Yeah, but right, yeah, I think the Revival steal this one. Next up is a last man standing match, which, like I said earlier, if done right, I'm really excited for it because Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley, very good at doing destruction. I hope it's fast paced and destructive in this match, but I think the last man standing will be Braun because I think his rise is coming.
So I'm gonna pick Braun. However, in my head, I've seen it before, and I really, really like. I'm
Lashley
fighting,
would be a nice swerve.
I'm finding myself going. I know Braun will probably win because he's returning, but god damn it,
I also don't know
want
if this
it.
is done, though. So if it isn't done, it would make more sense for Lashley to
Yeah.
find a way to win.
I don't know.
But
It's just difficult.
go
It's,
with Braun.
it's difficult.
Next up is a singles match for the United States Championship, which has been the best part of Raw, except for this week. But overall, since this feud has started, Ricochet defending against AJ Styles in what I expect to be a Matt Classic, and I expect AJ to do the job and the one and only to be atop the mountain of the United States so soon after Independence Day.
So you're picking the Ricochet.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I made that pretty clear.
That was kind of a vague way to describe it, but that's fine. For me,
It was a very artsy way to describe it. Actually, I painted a picture.
not good enough if I
It
can't
was a
see
great
it.
one. Well, you don't listen.
That's true.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Oh, I see what you did there.
I'm Kofi Kingston,
He
bitch.
Kofi Kingston me. There's no longer the bird. We'll just call it the Kofi.
The Kofi.
He just Kofi'd me. Oh God, I don't want to pick Ricochet, but I feel like,
Then don't. Coward. Pick Styles.
but I don't want none. I literally don't want none.
Well, you're a coward.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll go AJ.
That a boy.
Whatever.
All right,
Whatever.
plus one
Doesn't
for me.
matter.
Next up is The man who knocking on Alistair's door was Cesaro, which if he would have just knocked instead of talked, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, I would expect that Cesaro is going to do the job for Alistair because this is his coming out party as a single star in the main roster. So I expect it to be a really competitive 10-minute match that Alistair will make Cesaro fade to black.
I'm not putting the Nestle curse on this guy. Black.
Okay,
End of
I
story.
like that. We'll move on then to a stakes and weights, baby. Triple threat match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The Planet's Champions defends against the New Day and Heavy Boy
Back
Machinery.
that track up.
I would expect that the Planet's Tag Team Champions
They're gonna-
retain,
yeah,
but
they
I think
have
this
to.
match could be a potential show stealer.
I don't know if it's going to be a show stealer, but I would say it's definitely going to be one of those moments where I'm like, hey, this was better than I thought. Better than adequate. Exceeded expectations.
All right. So you picking
The planet.
the Planet.
The whole effing planet wins.
Next up is the match that I expect to go to the pre-show, but it's listed in the middle here, so that's why we're only getting it. It is the Joe Stopper Cruiserweight Championship match between the new champion, Drew Gulak, defending against the former champion, Mr. Abs himself, Tony Nese. I would expect Gulak to retain.
The goo. Give me the goo. It's the drink for
Return
you.
of the Gulak.
I just made a reference that I don't know if anybody will get, but that's fine.
I wasn't listening.
I said, goo is a drink for you. No, okay, never mind. Let's
No
move on.
fucking clue.
Somebody will
Is
get it.
Pee Wee Herman or some shit?
No, it's not even worth it. Keep going.
You might have left the dolphin there. Handicap match for
How
the
dare you.
WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Bailey defends against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I expect Bailey to win. Who cares?
I hope that this ship has sailed and that we stick SmackDown people on SmackDown, and I will stay with Pam. Bailey, Pam, Bailey.
Next up is a match that I'm not so sure is going to happen based on injury, but we're going to pick it because it's still listed, and Kofi's a fucking baller, so we'll probably do it. WWE Champion Kofi defends against Samoa Joe. I would expect if this match happens that the man,
injured?
Kofi,
Really?
he got hurt in a live event on SmackDown on Monday. That's
Ah.
our SmackDown live event on Monday, which is why he wasn't on Raw. But they had a live event and he got hurt. But I would assume it was just precautionary and he'll be okay. But I would think Kofi's going to retain.
Oh, yeah. Has
Because I
to be
think
Kofi.
you want the New Day walking in with the WWE Championship to SummerSlam at least.
Oh, yeah.
But also, we got to talk about it here because Paul Heyman said Brock Lesnar will be here. I don't think he will be. I think they're just doing it because I think it's smart to do it before every pay-per-view because it adds intrigue. Because I still think he's cashing in on Kofi at SummerSlam to win the belt. So I would say no cash in here.
Brock Lesnar doesn't show up to every event. Brock Lesnar will not cash in. Brock Lesnar only cares about money pay-per-views.
Perfect.
SummerSlam is there.
So we have 2 matches left. They're tag team matches. So I first ask you, which one do you think is going to be the main event? The winner take all or The Undertaker?
Well, I feel like Becky and Seth will be the main event.
It should be the main event. But I have a feeling Undertaker might be.
Dun-
Honestly, I hope it is because then I can turn off the thing after. But we'll pick
Wow.
the no holds barred tag team match first. Where the
Hold on. What's the difference between a no holds barred and Extreme Rules? Do we know?
No,
Do we know?
There isn't. There is an Extreme Rules
There's
match
no-
on the card, which is dumb.
No, Extreme Rules is the other one.
I know which one.
The non-Undertaker match. The all winner all.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's
no,
an Extreme
So
Rules.
that will be the main event.
Yeah, it has to be.
So this match that I mean, honestly, maybe they'll put it first and I can just turn it off and turn it back on. Undertaker Roman Reigns against Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. I would expect that when you combine the forces of those fucking two, that Reigns and Undertaker can win.
You can't bet against the big dog and the big booger
But
red.
the one caveat where you can bet against Roman Reigns, as we proved and I correctly predicted when I was dominant, was that Shane overtakes it. But when you throw in the Undertaker, it's just, I think it's too much of a wave.
It's too much
So give me the
political power.
geriatric jobber and the crusher of everyone.
The Reigns taker.
The taker of Reigns.
The taker of my time is winning this matchup.
All right. And that brings us to the main event of the show. The last chance. Winners take all mixed tag team Extreme Rules match for both the WWE Universal Championship and WWE Raw Women's Championship that got too long to be sunny. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
All right.
Defend against
You've left the
the
Dolphins.
better team of Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans, who, goddamn, I want them to win. I picked Baron Corbin in both the other matches.
Yeah, you're going to do it again, aren't you?
No, I'm taking Brolins.
What?
Brolins. What do they call them?
Brawlins, which makes no
Brawlins?
sense.
Yeah, give me Brolins.
Really?
Yeah.
That's stupid. They see me brawling. They hate it.
Oh, we hating.
Yeah, we hate
Everyone's hating.
Everybody's hating on it. Doesn't matter.
So you're taking Browns, too?
Rolling. Here's the thing. I know I said Brock Lesnar isn't showing up, but god damn it, would I mark out so fucking hard? Would I have a wrestle boner
If he beat up Becky?
If he,
That was your
came out-
hope.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
hope. But I want it to happen. Like this would be a perfect instance where you don't cash in, but you still leave some damage, I'd be happy with that. I doubt it's going to happen because it's an Extreme Rules event, but it would be awesome.
Yeah.
It would be great. So I'm going with Rollins.
I like it. All right. Well, I'm assuming we're getting heavy, so
Yes,
let's
take it home.
fly through the Fight for the Fallen really quickly here. We have Jimmy Havoc, Darby All In, which I was correct as
No,
TJ
it's
told me.
Darby Allin.
Yeah, but they called him Darby All In because he went all in to sign. So suck it, bitch. And Joey Janela versus the Great Perfection 10, Sean Spears, Sammy Guevara, and MJF. This is the buy-in pre-show. I don't know what that means, but give me the team of MJF and Sean Spears because I like them better than everyone else in this match.
I'm going to go with the baby faces because MJF and what's it called don't like each other. So I feel
MJF
like
and who?
and Sean Spears.
Oh, okay.
Because Sean Spears hit Cody with a chair.
I
So
don't
now,
think anyone likes MJF.
well, he's really good.
That's kind of the point.
He's really
He's like
good.
the Miz.
Yeah, he's better than the
He's
Miz.
Miz-like.
He's better than the
No,
he's
he's
better
Miz-like.
than Miz.
Moving on, it says Chris Jericho appears. What does that mean? I don't know.
He's gonna do something with Hangman Page.
You know how you're going to find out what's going to happen? Is
Yep.
if you go to jobberknock.com and read TJ's Fight for the Fallen preview. Next up, we have the Young Bucks versus Cody and Dustin Rhodes. I actually want to see that.
My brother, I need
Because
my brother.
I love the brothers together, and I think that the brothers are going to win. The brothers Rhodes?
the brothers Rhodes.
Yeah,
wow.
Why not? The Young Bucks don't need to win. They just
I'm gonna go
they
with the
can
Young
super
Bucks.
kick their way out of the hole.
I'm gonna go Bucks.
Next up, we have Sema, not to be confused with the Water Zema, against Kenny Omega. I'm gonna pick Kenny Omega because isn't he fighting for something bigger?
Omega's gonna face Moxley at All
Yeah,
In,
so
so
I
I mean,
feel like Omega's
Omega
gonna win.
needs this Omega fatties.
Next up, we have the Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian. I'll pick the Hangman because he's in that title match.
You got to
right?
give it to the Hangman, yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Brandy Rhodes versus Allie, I believe formerly of Impact.
You are correct.
I will pick Allie.
The Demon Bunny.
Wasn't she the one that was killed on Impact?
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. So give me Allie.
You want Allie?
Yeah, give me the dead girl.
I'm gonna go with book yourself into an angle, book yourself into a victory. Give me Brandy. Give me the Brandy Booker.
Brooking Rhodes.
Brookie Rhodes.
And then last up, we have a match that I believe was added recently: the SCU versus the Lucha Brothers. I'm gonna take the Lucha Brothers.
you got to give it to Lucha, baby, all the time.
Lucha, Lucha, Lucha. No pinatas on that team,
Nope.
which is why they're way better.
Zero. Pero.
See, Vince, you can seriously book people with masks. You don't have to treat them as a fucking joke. You
true.
can book them seriously, and they can be one of the best things on your show.
Is it Zero Piero? I'm not good at Spanish. Oh, whatever. Somebody else tell me that I'm wrong. All right, I believe that's everything. You took us home already. Hopefully you enjoy Evolve. Hopefully you enjoy Extreme Rules. Hopefully you even enjoy Fight for the Fallen if you watch it. We will be back next week with more Jobber Knockery.
And coming soon, something.